Good morning, everyone,
Good
and welcome
morning.
to Mondays with Meg. Today, we are going to be talking about simple steps to loving your home, loving living in your home. And I have a very special guest on with me this morning. Erin Raines is from Simple Space, St. Louis. For over 15 years, Erin has helped so many different types of clients transform and elevate their homes in gorgeous yet unpretentious style. And I will tell you, Erin is a dear friend. She's also been a coaching client of mine. She has done Glitter Gang. And not only is she probably the sweetest person on the planet, but she
Mhm.
is literally a design wizard, you guys. Not only does she specialize in very practical, functional design, but also design that's just very beautiful. And so, welcome, Erin. Thank you for
Thank
joining us
you.
today. You have such a wealth of experience going to Parsons and the huge business that you had in New York for many years. Now you've recently relocated to St. Louis. We love that we have you here. And so currently you are helping clients virtually all over the country, correct?
That's correct, yes. In the platform that I've created, I'm able to service clients pretty much anywhere at any time. And it's been an amazing, amazing opportunity that's come out of a really, really unfortunate time for us with COVID.
For sure. Well, I love that you are still able to help us love our homes, especially because most of us are home like all the time now.
Yes, definitely. That is a conversation that I have with a lot of my clients is, even though it seems like we're going to come out of COVID, that's not going to change the imprint that it's made on us or the impact that it's had with us in our homes. Like we are here in our homes a lot more. And I think people a lot of people are getting to the point that they're doing this work to make their homes better so that they can enjoy it, not so that to be prepared for the next, apocalypse or whatever might be thrown at us, but just really
Right.
because you start to connect with your space more when you're in it
Yeah.
more. And, we've been forced to be in it. So why not make the best of it?
I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. And so I was wondering, Erin, if you might have some suggestions for us today on how to love our homes, even if it doesn't happen to be like our ideal space, or maybe if we're renting, or maybe if there isn't like a whole lot we can actually, permanently change in our homes. What kind of suggestions do you have for us with that?
Well, my first one might be one that is a little controversial, but I'm going to
Ooh,
go ahead and say it because I think
do
it's
it.
so important. When you're feeling insecure about your space, one thing I'd really recommend doing is turning off HGTV. Put away the mags,
Mm,
put away the design shows,
yeah,
don't watch the home edit. Like, just really take a step back from the more glamorized look at how your home should be, because I think the steps from getting where you're at to where that is,
yeah,
there's an extraordinary amount of work that needs to be done, and I think that overwhelms people and it makes
for
them
sure.
feel even more insecure about their space, and then they don't know where to start or how to fix it, because what they're seeing is not real real life. It's not real families living in real homes all the time.
Right.
So I think that would be really helpful. And I think, when you've got a problem in your space, like, I think the first thing that you can do is just to change the mindset is look for one thing that you really do love. Look for something
Okay.
that brings you joy, that you find to be great and wonderful in your space, because once you kind of lock into that, that's going to help
Mm.
you start to bring positive energy to changing and kind of build you up,
Yeah.
because everything can be changed. You can change any kind of space,
Right.
and you don't have to do it with a lot of money. You can move furniture around. You can do all sorts of things to improve your space, but you got to start with coming from a place of feeling good about making the changes instead of always wanting, something that isn't achievable right in that moment.
That is really good advice. Shut down those screens and maybe just start playing with something you love that you have. I love that. That's fantastic.
Yes.
My wheels are spinning already. Okay. So If you were someone who was really starting to consider making some changes in their space, starting that planning process, really, where do you begin with that? I mean, like, really, because I know a lot of us, we have Pinterest boards, we have all these things, but like, let's say we're ready to actually pull the trigger. Where do you begin with that?
I think that once you've decided that you're going to do some work on your space, whatever degree of work that is, I think the place that you start is, yes, Pinterest is an amazing tool to help gather
Sure.
more inspiration, to use as a platform to describe what you want. And there's so many helpful tools, different articles and images and things that you can use. And I like Pinterest because I think you get more out of it. It's not just looking at glamorized. A lot of people will show their before and afters or the steps. You gather. It's a very good resource. It can be overwhelming at times, for sure, because there's so many ideas. But I do recommend getting Pinterest boards, starting concepts for the space that you want to change. And then I think when you are ready to start the work, the best thing that you can do is just outline some action steps to getting to the goal, whatever that goal is. If the goal is painting your space, then, starting making sure that you go get your paint samples, following a technique or a way to identify what colors might work in your space. If it's a bigger renovation, then it's really about kind of mapping out how you're going to do it. If you're going to do it yourself, especially because renovations tend to be where a lot of clients get stuck when you've got the pressure because you're dealing with a contractor, you're demoing, you're taking out something that's been familiar and gutting it and starting over. And I think that brings a lot. There's so many moving parts that if you don't have a real clear picture of how to get to the other side of that, you can start to feel really overwhelmed. So I really, really recommend just thinking through the process, not making impulsive decisions, and taking your time.
I love that. And giving us the freedom to take our time, I think, is huge, because so many times we just want it done. But it's okay to take time.
That's definitely it. I think that, and I struggle with that too. For example, this weekend, designing the space at the Hill Antique Market, I just wanted it done. I wanted it done so bad. And it was beyond getting done. And I had to keep telling myself, okay, it's okay. It's okay. You can live with some imperfection. The space is going to come together. I had to put myself through my own process. And
I love that.
Really talk about, having patience, making thoughtful decisions, and not letting it drive me crazy. So I get it.
Yeah, you deal with it too. And I cannot wait to go see your new retail space over at the Hill Antique Market. So fun. Okay, well, my next question for you actually has to do with something that you've been helping some of your design clients with over the past few months. What would you say are the top pain points you've really been dealing with them with, and how have you helped them overcome those?
I do think that renovations tend to be where coaching can really provide some good support. Because I think renovations, for one thing, they're more costly. So you want your decisions to be impactful and worth return on the investment, right? You don't want to get to the other side and wish that you had done something different. So most of my clients are in renovations and need support picking out materials, talking through the process, being a second person to fall back on when a contractor asks a question that comes up. So I think that is really critical. And I would say my other clients, they range, from just needing support for one day, just to try to revamp the space, get a new vision for it going, or, working in a little bit more detail, fine tuning a space, upgrading. You've got your foundation down, you've got your floor plan that you love, but then you need to make some choices about what to put in the space to to layer it, to add the decorative features or to round it out so it doesn't look disconnected.
Right. So what I heard from you is that you really are helping clients not only navigate like big professional, reno projects, but it sounds like you're also helping with a lot of almost like DIY kind of situations too. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think that one of the reasons why I created this platform was because I thought that I feel like you get a lot of high-end design. There's a lot of e-design that's trending right now. There's a lot of ways that design is coming through and being a little bit more reachable to people.
Yeah.
The gap that I found was that there wasn't a lot of practical designers out there willing to come in and kind of look at the odds and ends of a space. It's either a big ticket or a DIY kind of. There was extremes, and where I feel like my true value and what I have to offer is in those disconnected places, the places in between that, where maybe somebody doesn't have a large budget, but they deserve to live in a home they love. So why not create a platform that is financially feasible for a lot more people? And what that does is allow people that are stuck, that they can't get out of it. It's been that way in their space for years because they can't find their way through the process, allows them to afford to be able to work with me and kind of get through that. And I love that. I love that. That space is particularly heartfelt for me because I can relate. And I think that if more people can get to where they have the space that they love, then their lives are going to be so much better. Their children are going to be happy. It will create a loving environment.
Fantastic. Whether it's dealing with homeschooling for the first time, or now a home office is needed, or just enjoying playing your games and having time together. I love that.
Yes, definitely.
That's fantastic. Well, you guys, Erin and I created a guide for you that you can download for free. It's up on the blog, and actually the link to that should be right here on this video. We would love for you guys to go ahead and download that, and we hope it will also be helpful for you as you are navigating loving your home right now, since we are all home so much more. And Erin, where would you like people to find you?
That's a great question. So you can find me on my website at simplespacestl.com. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook. And if none of those platforms work for you, then just give me a call. My number's on my website, and I'd love to talk with you. And I do a complimentary consultation. We talk about your space, get into more detail. I find out exactly what's going on and how I can best help, because I'm always here for everybody.
Well, Erin, I have to tell you, Bree just put on here that you are the best, and I agree. She kind of is the best. I know you're helping Bree right now with a home office.
Yes, yeah, we did her home office and her closet, and I've really enjoyed working with Bree. We have a great time together.
Fantastic. Well, that's what it's all about, right? And then loving the space. Yes. And Erin, thank you so much for having this time with us. If you all have any further questions or anything, feel free to go ahead and put the comments here on the videos. Erin and I will be popping back in and checking them throughout the day. And later you can absolutely, as always, find this at yourcoachmeg.com. And also don't forget to download that guide. I think it'll be really helpful for you. And Bree just mentioned she can't stop staring at the spaces that you've helped her with. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Yay, I love that so much. Well, Erin, thank you for joining us. And everyone, thank you for starting off your week, your Monday with us. We hope that you have just the best week ever. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.